Bible talk about slavery? Yeah. Is slavery condoned in the Bible? No.
To be very clear, slavery is condoned, in the sense of being permitted when it could have been forbidden, in all three major Pentateuchal law codes. This is also not, as this creator implies, an issue about the applicability of Old Testament law, as slavery is also condoned in all three major New Testament household codes. This is not a debatable point. Rather than engage with any of the passages that condone slavery that I have listed here, this creator instead refers to a passage in Exodus 21 that prohibits kidnapping, as though the prohibition against kidnapping were a de facto prohibition against slavery. This might be the case if kidnapping was a major source of slavery in this ancient Near Eastern context, as it was for the transatlantic slave trade, but kidnapping was not a major source of slavery in this ancient Near Eastern context. The overwhelming majority of slaves, as these law codes attest, were debt slaves. Family A would go through a difficult season and need to borrow food from Family B, and so Family A would send a member of their family to go work the fields or the pastures of Family B until that debt was repaid, or until 7 years was up, whichever came first. Another major source of slaves were foreign chattel slaves, who were purchased from the surrounding nations, usually by urban elites, for their skilled labor. Neither native debt slaves nor foreign chattel slaves are acquired through kidnapping, and as a result this prohibition against kidnapping would have no effect on their continued practice. This creator then goes on to try to make the argument that the laws in the Pentateuch were never meant to be obeyed. But this contradicts the texts themselves. The laws are framed as direct divine commands from God that the audience is not at liberty to disobey. The laws are accompanied by repeated admonitions to obey them, and the consequences for not obeying them are laid out in great detail, and they are quite horrific. These features of the text are exactly what you would expect if the laws were meant to be obeyed, and exactly what you would not expect if the laws were not meant to be obeyed. Further, if the laws were never meant to be obeyed to begin with, then his citation of the prohibition against kidnapping is largely pointless. Anyone who's attempting to derive ethics from the Bible needs to begin with what the passages in the Bible actually say, rather than beginning with a fairy tale version of the Bible with all the problematic bits taken out.